Hey guys, David Radney here. I go by D-Rad. I am a prospecting coach and I actually want to be your coach and I want to be your mentor. You can follow me on Instagram at David Radney Push. All right. So here's what I want to talk to you guys about. When you're meeting with clients, whether it's a buyer or a seller, even if it's someone in your sphere of influence that you know, just understand that getting an objection is part of the process. You're always going to get an objection. Let's break it down though. What exactly is an objection? I was always told, and I believe this, that an objection is an unanswered question in the mind of your client. And so how do you handle objections? The objections don't mean they don't want to work with you. On the contrary, I believe it means they're really interested in working with you. You just haven't said the right thing yet. And so when you get an objection, instead of doing this like I used to do, here we go again. What I want you to do is like they're giving me an objection. They're showing me that they have interest, because if they didn't have interest, guess what? They would just hang the phone up. So here's what I want you to do. Whenever you get an objection, whether you're in person or you're on the phone, I need you to practice this way. And it's going to sound a little goofy. Let me explain why. The first thing you do when you get an objection is you smile. Why is that? Well, as a prospecting coach the last 6 years, I see your face when you get an objection. And typically it's that deer in the headlight look. It doesn't give your clients confidence. So if you learn as a response to an objection to smile, that shows confidence. It's like, I get this every day. I'm ready to handle whatever you have for me. Give it to me. So allow them to give you the objection. As an example, will you lower your commission? I'm going to smile. That's the first step, right? And then I'm going to acknowledge what they said, because people want to make sure they're being heard. So I would acknowledge it. Okay, so what I hear you saying is that in order for me to work with you, you want me to lower my commission, correct? And they're going to say, yes, I want you to lower your commission. The next step after that is to isolate it, because I want to make sure that's the only objection I have to deal with. And if there are other objections, I want to know what those are too, so I can frame up the conversation and cover everything. So I would isolate it by saying, other than lowering my commission, is there any other reason you would choose not to work with me? And if the answer is no, that's it. Great. I know I have to just deal with commission. If they say, well, it's the commission and we're interviewing some other agents, I know that I need to deal with that as well. So again, you smile, you acknowledge it, you isolate it, and then you overcome it. And there's so many ways to overcome it. I'll talk about that when we have our conversation about proper ways to role play. However, my favorite way to overcome that objection is looking right at them and saying, no. Do you have any other questions? And then learning how to shut up and stop talking. I have a hard time with that. You'll get to know that as you get to know me. So I have this little trick. I'm going to share it with you guys. And this is a trademark trick, so I don't share it with everybody. Take these two fingers here. After you overcome that objection and you say, no, do you have any other questions? You put your thumb under your chin, you put this finger here, and you hold your mouth closed. And if you know me and you see me coaching, you've seen me do this before, because there are times that I want to talk and I know, David, you have to shut up and get comfortable with that silence. And when you allow yourself to do that, a lot of times they'll say, okay, and they'll be ready to listen with you. But sometimes you can talk yourself into a dangerous area where it makes overcoming that objection hard. So learn how to be quiet. All right, so you smile, you acknowledge, you isolate, you overcome the objection. And then lastly, and this is the part that most of you guys miss, after you overcome the objection, what do we need to do? We need to close. All right, so now will you sign the paperwork with me so I can get your house listed and get you to Northern California by February? Won't that be great? So you smile, you acknowledge, you isolate, you overcome, and you close. And the one caveat to this that I want to say, even if you're on the phone with a client, even if you're practicing your scripts and you're doing role play, I want you to smile, because here's the rule. The way you participate here is how you're going to participate out there. And if you make it a habit of smiling even when you're on the phone, you'll find yourself smiling more when you're in person. So do that. That's all I have on overcoming objections. Make sure you practice this. Make sure that you role play this out so that you are able to overcome any objection that comes your way with confidence. I hope that makes sense. I trust it does.